Hello YouTubers, it's Christopher here with another video, and in this video we'll be taking a look at 3 different ways of styling your HTML file, or in other words, we'll be looking at 3 different ways of using CSS in your HTML file. So what I have done already is that I have gone ahead and created an HTML file on my desktop, and I have kept it in a folder with the name of CSS. So let's open it up. So let's click on Add Folder, and let's navigate to the desktop and select this folder here, CSS, and add it to the code editor. So the code editor we're using for this video is VS Code. Now let's expand this folder here, and you can see I have an HTML file. So let's open it up, and now I can close this Explorer here. So as you can see, the HTML file is a very basic HTML file. So I have my head tags, and then in the body we have some heading tags, some unordered list, paragraphs, and then divs. Okay, so let's start with the first way of styling your HTML file, and that method we call it Inline Css. So what Inline Css is just that you are going to apply individual styles to separate HTML elements. So let's start with this h2 tag. I'm going to remove the class here, and we are going to write the word style, and the style we want to apply here is going to be the color of it, and we are going to give it a color of red and save the file. Now nothing is happening because I forgot to preview it in the browser. So let's do that. Let's right click here and open with Live Server. Okay, so I can close this tab now. You can see that the color has been affected already. If you don't believe, let's change it now to green, and let's save, and you can see that now the color is green. Now let's style this unordered list. So let's give it the word again, style, and this time I want the font size of it, font size, to be 30 pixels, and you can see that our links are now looking very huge. So I am doing all this with the help of Inline Css. So like I was saying, you use Inline Css to style individual elements, even though Inline Css is not all that recommended to be used. Okay, so let's go to the next method of styling our HTML file, which is internal CSS. Now for this method, we are going to include a special tag in our head tag here, and that tag is called style. So inside here, we can target any element. So let's target all the heading tags, or okay, let's target the paragraphs. So we're going to target any element with a P in it as a tag, and we are going to give it a color of let's say orange, a color of orange. Let's save our work, and you can see what is happening. So all our paragraphs have been styled with the orange color. Let's increase the size. So our font size, let's give it a size of 25 pixels and save, and you can see what has happened already. So this way of styling elements is what we call internal CSS, using internal. So this is an internal CSS. Then what we did the first time was our inline CSS over here. So we had one for the heading 2 tag, and we had another one for the unordered list. Now let's look at the last way of styling our HTML file, which is using external CSS. So I'm going to create a new CSS file. We're going to add a file to our folder, and we are going to call it style.css. So now we have created our CSS file. We can close this and go back to our HTML file. Now it's time for us to link it in our HTML file. So we are going to use the link tag, and we are going to link a CSS file. And so that's all we need to do. Now the last thing we need to do to make this work is for us to go and start entering our rules or adding our CSS rules. So the first rule we want to do is let's see what we can target over here. So let's target the input. So this one, let's target this input. It's over here. I'm going to change the background of that one. So I'm going to target the input element, and we are going to change the background color to red. Let's save this, and you can see what has happened already. Let's give it a border. So border of 2 pixels, solid blue. Let's save this, and you can see that we have successfully applied our border. We can even add another rule. So let's add a rule that targets our button, and we are going to give it a background color of orange. And then let's save this. Background color of, oh, my orange is strongly spelled. So let's save this. Background, and my button also is wrongly spelled. So let's save again, and now you can see that our button has an orange color. So this way of styling elements in an HTML file is what we call external CSS. This is the most recommended way of styling your HTML files. So all the time resort to using external CSS files, and the reason why this method is recommended is because it makes your work organized, so that you have a single place where all your CSS rules are residing. It makes the whole work neat. But if we go to the other two methods where we used inline CSS over here, you can see that our HTML document is already looking very nasty and dirty and very confusing also. And then we also have our internal CSS here. Just imagine we're going to add about 50 different CSS rules. You can imagine how long this is going to be. So like I was saying, the most recommended way is by going with an external CSS. So guys, I think that will be all for this video, and if you have any comments about this video, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.